A prophet who lived a century ago, a man whose followers believe foresaw the Great Depression and the rise of new technologies, may have also described our near future. He spoke of a great cleansing of the earth, not to destroy humanity, but to awaken it. And while he never spoke a specific year, many researchers studying his work now point to 2026 as a critical moment. This is the story of that interpretation and of an ancient secret supposedly sealed for millennia beneath the Sphinx that might be waiting to be unlocked. When you think of modern mystics, few names are as fascinating as Edgar Cayce. Born in 1877 on a humble farm in Kentucky, Cayce was a devout Christian who lived a seemingly ordinary life. He wasn't a scholar or a scientist. He was a photographer and a Sunday school teacher. And yet, this simple man possessed an extraordinary gift that would earn him the title of the sleeping prophet. By entering a self-induced trance, Cayce could apparently access a profound source of information, providing answers to questions on almost any topic. He gave over 14,000 of these readings during his lifetime, all meticulously transcribed and preserved. The vast majority were for individuals seeking healing, offering diagnoses and remedies that often baffled the medical community of his day. But beyond the medical advice, Cayce's readings ventured into history, spirituality, and future events. He spoke of lost continents, reincarnation, and the hidden story of humanity. He was a reluctant prophet, often troubled by the information that came through him and wary of the fame it brought. He just wanted a simple Christian life, but his strange ability demanded a different path. It's this very reluctance that gives his words a certain gravity. So, what did he see for our future? Before we can look forward, we have to look back. To understand why millions pay attention to what Cayce said, you have to look at his track record. His followers point to a startling list of prophecies that they claim have come true. For example, in 1925, years before the Roaring Twenties came to a halt, Cayce warned of adverse forces that will come then in 1929. This is widely interpreted as a direct warning of the 1929 stock market crash that triggered the Great Depression. As the world later edged toward another war, his readings in 1935 spoke of coming international turmoil, specifically mentioning that struggles would arise involving Austria, Germany, and Japan. Perhaps most remarkably, his readings described a devout Jewish sect called the Essenes in great detail. He spoke of their communal lives and sacred texts, information that was largely unknown until the Dead Sea Scrolls were discovered in 1947, 2 years after his death, which seemed to align with his descriptions. He also appeared to see the future of technology. In 1927, he described a time when a diagnosis could be made from a single drop of blood, a concept that sounded like science fiction at the time, but is a reality of modern medical diagnostics. Of course, not every prediction materialized. Cayce also spoke of dramatic earth changes and the destruction of cities like Los Angeles and San Francisco between 1958 and 1998, events which thankfully did not happen on that scale. This is part of his complicated legacy. His followers see his prophecies not as fixed certainties, but as warnings of a potential path. Still, his documented hits are specific enough that they demand our attention. This brings us to the prophecy that's now capturing so much attention. Cayce's readings often spoke of a period of immense global turmoil and transformation. He described a time of earth changes, dramatic seismic events, shifting coastlines, and extreme weather patterns that would signal the start of a new era. Now, it is critical to state that Edgar Cayce never uttered the specific year 2026. That date is a modern interpretation, a point identified by researchers studying his work alongside astronomical data. These interpreters point to a series of significant planetary alignments set to occur in 2026, events they believe could act as a cosmic trigger for the changes Cayce foresaw. One of the most notable of these alignments is on February 28, 2026, when 6 planets will appear together in the sky. Cayce's followers believe that these Earth changes are not a punishment, but a cleansing, a physical rebalancing of the planet that mirrors a spiritual rebalancing within humanity. His prophecies chillingly warned that the greater portion of Japan must go into the sea, and that the upper portion of Europe would be changed as in the twinkling of an eye. Whether you see these as literal geological events or powerful metaphors for social upheaval, the message is the same. The world as we know it is on the cusp of a monumental shift. And according to Cayce, this transformation is tied to an ancient secret, one buried in the sands of Egypt. For centuries, the Great Sphinx of Giza has gazed silently at the horizon, its purpose shrouded in mystery. But according to Edgar Cayce, its greatest secret lies hidden beneath it. In dozens of readings, he spoke of a subterranean chamber he called the Hall of Records. He described this chamber as an ancient archive built by survivors of the lost civilization of Atlantis around 1000 BC. He claimed this hall contains the complete history of humanity, our spiritual origins, forgotten technologies, and the true story of our past. It is, in essence, a time capsule of wisdom meant for a future generation that was spiritually ready to receive it. Cayce was incredibly specific, stating the entrance could be found near the Sphinx's right front paw. For decades, this was dismissed as pure fantasy. But in the 1990s, seismic surveys and ground-penetrating radar scans around the Sphinx found several unexplained anomalies and cavities in the bedrock. For believers, one large rectangular-shaped void discovered under the Sphinx's paws seemed to be a startling match for Cayce's descriptions. However, mainstream Egyptology remains unconvinced, attributing these anomalies to natural fissures in the limestone, and no credible evidence of a man-made chamber has ever been officially discovered. Yet for his followers, the correlation is tantalizing. Cayce's readings insisted that the Hall of Records may not be entered until the time has been fulfilled when the changes must be active in this sphere of man's experience. This suggests the opening of the hall isn't just an archaeological event, but a spiritual one, timed to coincide with humanity's moment of greatest change. What do you think is hidden beneath the sands of Egypt? A library of ancient wisdom, just as Cayce described? Or are the anomalies just natural rock formations? Let us know your theories in the comments below. This is where the prophecy pivots from cataclysm to hope. The Earth changes and the rediscovery of our past aren't the end of the story. According to Cayce, they are the catalysts for the main event, a great awakening. This isn't an awakening of one religion or nation, but a global shift in human consciousness. Cayce's readings describe a time when humanity will begin to move from a state of separation and fear toward one of unity and love. He prophesied the eventual emergence of what he called a fifth root race, not a new ethnicity, but a new kind of human being defined by a higher state of spiritual awareness. According to these prophecies, this awakening would manifest as a flowering of intuitive or even psychic abilities. Things once considered supernatural would become more common, especially in children. People would begin to understand the interconnectedness of all life and feel a deeper responsibility for one another and for the planet. This transformation is described as the next step in our evolution. Just as we evolved from primitive beings to thinking humans, the next stage is to become spiritually aware humans. Cayce's message suggests that the turmoil and crises we face are evolutionary pressures, pushing us to shed our old skins of greed, conflict, and materialism. The external chaos is meant to trigger an internal awakening. We're being shaken to our core so that we can finally wake up. Crucially, Cayce's vision of the future isn't set in stone. He was a firm believer in the power of free will. His prophecies were not absolute certainties, but warnings and possibilities. The timeline could be altered, and the severity of the Earth changes could be lessened, all depending on humanity's collective choices. His readings present us with a fundamental choice. We can cling to the old world of division and fear and experience the coming changes as a traumatic collapse. Or we can consciously choose to participate in the awakening. We can choose compassion over judgment, service over selfishness, and faith over fear. Cayce taught that every individual contributes to the consciousness of the whole. Through practices like prayer, meditation, and living a life of service, we can each raise our own vibration and help lift the entire planet. The prophecy isn't something that happens to us, it's something that happens through us. This is the ultimate secret of the prophecy. The power to navigate the future doesn't lie with any government or institution. It lies within each human heart. The call is to prepare not by building bunkers, but by building a better version of ourselves. So, what are we to make of all this? A humble man who gave thousands of trance-like readings, a hidden library of ancient knowledge supposedly waiting beneath the Sphinx, and a promise of a global spiritual awakening that could be born from a period of intense change. The threads of Edgar Cayce's prophecies weave together into an epic narrative for our time. The Earth changes, the Hall of Records, and the Great Awakening are not separate events. They are interconnected parts of a planetary metamorphosis. Whether 2026 brings dramatic planetary alignments or the opening of an ancient vault remains to be seen. But maybe the true prophecy isn't about a specific date, but about the era we're living in right now. An era of unprecedented challenge, but also unprecedented opportunity. Perhaps the final secret of the Sphinx isn't just a collection of scrolls in a hidden chamber, but the rediscovery of the divine knowledge that already lies dormant, waiting to be unlocked inside each and every one of us. The choice, as Cayce always said, is ours. If you found this journey into prophecy and mystery compelling, subscribe and click the bell icon so you don't miss our next exploration into the world's greatest secrets.
Feeling anxious or disconnected? Ready for a deeper faith journey designed just for you? Discover Bible Study for Black Women. This guide nurtures faith, strength, and growth week by week. Overcome fear and connect with God. This empowering journey is waiting. Find Bible Study for Black Women on Amazon today and start building unshakable faith.
If this content blesses you and you'd like to support our mission, you can buy me a coffee or give a super thanks. Every contribution helps us create more content to inspire and uplift others. Make sure to subscribe so you don't miss out on my future videos.